And we're back. So I'm actually really bad at editing stuff. Can you believe it? I don't have a name for this. The dawning of superpowers. When I was younger, I really loved long, obnoxious names. Yeah, I think we've already established that I'm bad at spelling. I do actually think I am a little dyslexic. Sometimes I'll just read, like I literally will just like stare at the same mistake and I can't see it, and I've reread it 50 times. Just the other day, I had a sentence and it was like da 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 da, you know, she was blah blah blah, except it wasn't was, it was has. And I just had it noticed for years, like 6 years. I didn't notice this mistake. All of this is to say that's where I use Grammarly. I don't take every suggestion, but I'll take this one. So, right, is it hyphenated? Is it 2 words? Is it 1 word? This is one of my weaknesses. If we have a noun here, then these should be hyphenated. So, yeah, I agree with that one. See, that's just not a suggestion I like, because I like my smile there. Anyway, so I'm just kind of here to like look for really obnoxious mistakes, obvious mistakes. I don't mind the passive voice so much. Not all the time anyway. I mean, she'd been constipated. I can't think of another way. Her bowels had constricted her movements. That's an active voice, but it doesn't make any sense, so we're gonna ignore that. She nodded. Yeah, you wanted to do that, but immediately. To me, there should be no pause. I know grammatically there should be a comma, but I don't care. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one. Well, to be honest, we are a little constipated. Yeah, I kind of like the pause. Well, to be honest, once we're done with all of that, I do like the plagiarism check. I mean, you never fucking know, right? Well, I guess I am extremely original. So I've incorporated those back into the main document. I'm gonna set this aside for now. I know I could just read it again a couple more times, but it's really good to put some distance between yourself and your writing. It's impossible to come at it like a new reader would, but give yourself a bit of a time and it feels a little bit more fresh. Almost feels like it could be new again to you. And you get a better idea of whether you actually like it. So we'll come back another day. Okay, we're back after a little bit of an extended break. Well, not that long. I meant to edit this yesterday, but then I was editing that video of me writing it Thursday and yesterday, so it just felt like I needed to wait a little bit longer. So basically, we're just gonna read through this and edit it. I mean, editing is just that, reading and tweaking. I really don't know how interesting this part is going to be. This is all just an experiment. I enjoyed filming myself writing it. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy filming myself editing this, so let's see. Charlie sat in the clinic's drab waiting room, listening to Mariah Carey. I know, I would like to read in an ominous voice, but doesn't mean that you should. She desperately needed some female empowering energy. I still like that sentence. Feeling unsettled, you know, I feel like I'm gonna move this up here. Oh, fun. What's just happened there? Charlie sat in the clinic's drab waiting room feeling unsettled, not because of her impending pap smear, but because she'd been constipated for the last 3 days. She listened. Too many she's desperately needing some female empowering energy. if you watch the video of me writing this, at this point you probably know. I don't know a lot about Mariah Carey. I don't even know if you could really categorize her music as female empowering, but it just sounds good, so we're sticking with it. It was lucky that she'd already booked her yearly physical. I don't even need this sentence, do I? Or I need to move it over here. Just leave Mariah Carey telling him. It was lucky, it was good timing. Yeah, it was good timing that she'd already booked her yearly physical. She listened to Mariah Carey to clean up something. Charlotte Rose? Charlie put her arm up reflexively and smiled sheepishly at the enemy's near. Here. Last room on the left. The nurse. When you have, sometimes pronoun confusion can stop a reader dead. The nurse nodded and her attention was immediately nodded down the hall. Her was immediately switched back. That's incorrect. Her computer immediately drawing back her attention. Getting rid of whatever. Charlie knew the drill. Change into the hospital gown, which awkwardly hangs open at the back. Lie down and wait for the doctor. Dr. Pullman entered. Eyes. We knew we'd have to get this one. What else can we say? Eyes affixed to his clipboard. I might just be overthinking this. I could just say eyes on his clipboard. Immediately, my image of every family doctor you've ever seen in a movie is King John. So that's really who I'm picturing. Maybe I should change it to a Korean name. I just picked the first, although Dr. Pullman pulled away, I would lose that amazing sentence. So, you know what? It's a Korean doctor whose father was European and mother was Korean. There we go. The backstory you never knew you needed. Eyes on his clipboard. Yeah, that's fine, right? Simple, good. Good afternoon, miss. It took him half a moment to find her name. Rose, how are we today? Well, to be honest, I lost mine. I'm pretty sure I italicized that before, but whatever. It's italicized again. We are a little constipated. She tried to chuckle like she'd made a joke and was met with indifferent silence. That's good. When was your last physical? Last year? Same day, probably? I don't know. The nurses called me because they said I was due for a physical, but the constipation started 2 or 3 days ago. I've been eating fiber, but lay down and put your feet up in the stirrups. He finally put his clipboard down. He finally looked up. Put his clipboard down. Rubber is incorrect, and then I thought it was latex. But then I asked a nurse, and apparently they use something called nitrile gloves. As you can see, nitrile gloves. I don't know if this is like standard in hospitals, but that's what I'm gonna go with. Blue or black? They should be blue, right? Oh, okay, yeah, let's get the pap out of the way then. She lay back on the bed and put her feet up in the... I had holders, but it should be footrests, no? Scooching. I just heard a podcast with someone using scooching, so I'm not crazy. Scooching is a real word, and footrest is apparently one word. Well, Dr. Pullman sat on a stool and pulled a speculum out. You'll feel a little... Dr. Pullman thrust the freezing gel-smothered speculum up into her mother's cold. That's a good sentiment. She started streaming butterfly in her head, picturing Mariah Carey dancing around in a bra. I still haven't actually watched that video. I don't know if she's dancing or singing. Singing in a bra? Picturing Mariah Carey singing in a bra? I guess the implication here is that Charlie is either a lesbian or bisexual. which I am A-okay with. Singing. Dancing around sounds a little, let's think her, condescending. She's obviously a Mariah Carey fan, so singing in a bra to take her mind away from whatever the hell was going on below her waist. Oh no, she said out loud. But it was too late to stop what was happening. She didn't have time to warn Dr. Pullman to get out of harm's way before the rumble turned into an eruption of gas. I was thinking I should change it to geyser of gas. But no, geyser is like liquid. I think eruption is the only thing that's a little ambiguous. No. Charlie was ready for the smell of death, the look of disgust, and the feeling of shame that would follow. She was not expecting the mushroom cloud of glitter. Dr. Pullman pulled back. His wheeled stool went flying across the room, his stunned, besparkled face spinning wildly. The examination room filled with the smell of roses. Oh my God, are you all right? Charlie sat up in shock. Dr. Pullman coughed once, a sputter of sparkles, before collapsing to the floor. And that's how Charlotte Rose learned she was destined to be the masked Avenger. We need a new name. I can't use sparkle motion because, I mean, it's from Donnie Darko. Glitter, 2 on the nose. Sparklefly? Like butterfly, but sparklefly? Oh yeah, maybe she can like use her glitter farts to fly. Yeah, alright, I like, the implication is there. She is Sparklefly. I want to write like a whole series featuring Sparklefly. Alright, I had maybe less editing to do than I thought. Well, I'm gonna throw it back in Grammarly. I still need to think of an actual name for this. Not because of her impending pap smear, but because she's been constipated. Okay, we'll take that one. Mr. on the left. The computer immediately drew back her attention. Yes, that is correct. Dr. Pullman entered. No, I need that comma. She lay back on the bed and put her feet. Yeah, but they're going up. I know you hate phrasal verbs, Grammarly, but if we didn't need phrasal verbs, we wouldn't have them. Up on the footrests, in the footrests. Feet up in. I'm gonna put in what happened there? In a bra. Plagiarism check one more time. Tell me if anyone's ever used Sparklefly before. Actually, I think plagiarism is just looking up specific sentences, not. Ooh, coroner and the body in the back. This is my favorite sentence. Don't tell me I plagiarized it. Well, it was only when I changed it to snapped on. Well, what if I just take away blue? Are you okay with that? How about black? Can I use black? All right, they're now black. And whatever that story was, I promise I didn't steal it. It's just a weird coincidence. I'm actually done now. I'm gonna post this up on Booksy, so you can read it for yourself, although I just read it for you, so you probably don't need to. Hopefully, I'm gonna check out some other people's stories from this writing prompt. I'm really curious to see what ideas other people come up with. What other unique superpowers people have in their heads. Thanks for joining me for this weird little experiment, and I need a good sign-off. I don't know. Sparklefly away!